Hi there. I wanted to go over a little bit about G-Power. G-Power is a great program that you can use to help you determine the sample size that you need or how many participants you need so that when you run your inferential statistics, you have a large enough sample size that you can be confident with the results that you're getting. So you can download it from the internet. It's pretty quick and easy to download, and you'll end up with a G-Power program that looks something like this. So the first thing you want to do when you've opened it is identify the tests that you're planning on running. If you come up here, you can see where it says tests. You can see they have a lot of options if you're interested or planning on doing correlations and regressions, if you're interested in looking at tests that are going to be comparing means, different proportions tests. They have variances and some additional tests. Let's start off by doing an example. I'm going to just jump into means here. Let's look at maybe doing a independent groups t-test. So we're going to be doing a t-test. We're looking at in two different groups. We're doing it a priori because I haven't done it yet. It's going to tell me how much I need for my sample size. You can determine whether or not you want a one-tailed test or a two-tailed test. If you are unsure, a two-tailed test is going to be more stringent. So that way, if you're not sure, this is the safer decision to make. As far as effect size, if you sort of hover over it, it will pop up to some default effect sizes. You can also choose to put your own effect size in if you're doing something that maybe is based on literature. That's fine as well. This has a small of 0.2, medium effect size of 0.5, and a large effect size of 0.8 for our Cohen's d. Now, you can, depending upon what you select, you're telling it what sample size would be required to identify a small effect, a medium effect, or a large effect. And if you are choosing a large effect, your sample size would go down. It takes fewer participants to find a large effect. Large effects can be found more easily than the small effects. So just kind of keep that in mind. Our alpha, or our probability level, or our significance level, we're going to keep set at 0.05, which is pretty standard. If you have a reason to change that to 0.01 or even 0.001, you can certainly do that here. You just have to highlight any of these boxes and you can change them. If I wanted to change it to 0.01, but I do not, I'm going to leave that at 0.05. Now I have 2 decimals in there. There we go. Our power, or our ability to determine, the power is the ability to determine the percentage of time that we feel that we would correctly reject a null hypothesis when it is in fact false. Most often, the more common level for the power is 80%. So we can change this to 80. I'm going to go ahead and calculate this, and then we'll change a few numbers so you can see how it moves. So I'm going to hit calculate, and we see here that it's telling us we want 64 participants, in at least 64 in each group. So yes, we want a total sample size of 128, but there should be at least 64 in each group. If you end up with 74, great. If you end up with 3,000, even better. Let's see here. And remember that number, 64 in each group. Let's change this to a small sample size. And let's hit calculate. And now it's saying we want 394. So determining the effect size is really going to make a difference. And let's go back to 0.5, just because if we were to change our power, let's say we change that to 95, it would also then increase our sample size. The more stringent parameters we put on it, the higher the sample size. And again, if I were to change the tail to 1, it would lower the sample size I needed, which is why I would say if you're not quite sure which one you want to choose at this point, or if you're not quite sure or quite confident about which one to choose the two-tailed. It's more stringent. When it gives you that higher sample size number, you're going to be safer. I hope this helps. Go ahead and download this, jump in, find the test you're interested in, play around a little bit, but G-Power is a great way to determine what sample size you need for your future research. Good luck.